Hello and welcome to Vigdis Daughter's Mystical Musings. I'm Vigdis Daughter. Now, usually what I talk about is basic things that will help you start your witchcraft path. Things that are so basic that they are generally overlooked, and it is assumed that you already know them. And since you know them, covering them again would be boring. But tonight I want to do something different. Tonight is basically a rant, and it's about mental health and the stigma around mental health. It's really difficult for people to talk about or grasp the idea of mental health because our society does not want to talk about it. Our society does not want to acknowledge it. It's one of those things that society thinks if you don't look at it, it doesn't exist. Well, too bad, it exists. And people need to deal with it. More importantly, people need to be allowed to deal with it. There should not be a stigma about seeking help, ever. There should never be a stigma. It doesn't matter why you're seeking help. No one should give you a hard time for actually trying to help yourself. So what I'm looking at tonight is I really just want to make a point that it's okay to seek help for any reason, however small. When my mom passed, the hospice offered me a chance to talk to a counselor, and it was the best thing I ever did. It helped. It helped a lot. It didn't fix anything, but it's not designed to fix anything. It was about me recognizing what I was going through and embracing that. And honestly, it's been over 11 years since Mom passed. And I still think, oh wow, look at that show. I bet Mom would love that. And then I remember, she's gone. It'll be 3 years in October when my father passed. And where my mom was an expected thing, as she'd been sick for 16 years, my father's passing was very sudden. It was a cardiac event, is what the coroner described it as. There were no specifics, and it was so completely out of the blue that my father's physician got a hold of my brother and I and said, get checked. Get your heart checked. See if there's anything going on. And we did. And nothing was found, thankfully. But nothing had been found with my father either. So there you go. Anyhow, back to mental health. Mental health is a basic part of self-care. Self-care is something that we in Western society are bad at. Seriously bad at. There's a lot of people who point and laugh at the idea of self-care, or who suggest that self-care is just an excuse to be lazy. Because sometimes you need a day to yourself. Sometimes you need to take a break. And if that break doesn't coincide with other people's wants, well, they'll lash out. That's common. It's very common. So everyone has mental health issues to a greater or lesser extent. Anyone who claims that they don't really needs to work on themselves, because we all do. And it shouldn't ever be a bad thing to acknowledge that. It's like acknowledging that we're all human. It's part of how it works. You want to take time for yourself. You want to take whatever it is you need to get through the day, to function, to pursue meaningful activities in your life. I don't just mean go to work. I mean things that make you living life, not just surviving it. You want to be productive, but we have this weird idea that somehow being productive is tied to a paycheck that you take home. And that's just so weird when you really think about it. It's weird. So I want to say, if you need to talk to someone, and with this pandemic going on, a lot of people are needing to talk to someone. If you don't feel that your friends can support you in this need, there are numbers to call depending on where you live. Google is a fabulous resource, and you should always avail yourself, because it can make a huge difference. It can make a world of difference to know that you're not alone, to know that what you're going through is something that you can get through. You can deal with it. Which leads us into another hot topic, and that's the idea of medication and witchcraft, or medication and magic in general. And you know what? It is going to affect you. That's the whole point of the medications. Medications are to make a change in your physiology so that you can deal with whatever's going on, whether it's a sleep deprivation issue. Maybe you're an insomniac. It could be anxiety issues. It can be bipolar. It can be any number of things, ranging from what we consider mundane day-to-day crap to things that are making it look pretty bleak. And it's okay. If you need to take medications, if you need to take B vitamins and D vitamins just to keep yourself functioning well, take your C vitamins. Do it. What if you need to take gabapentin? What if you need to take anti-seizure medication? What if you need to take fluoxetine, antipsychotic medications? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You will learn how to work around it. Whatever is the reality of your life, it doesn't matter if it's a medication-induced situation, or it's a neighbor-induced situation, or what. The thing about witchcraft is you are going to deal with things. You are going to have to figure out how to work around factors involved in a situation, or simply bulldoze through them. And medication is just one more factor. That's all it is. You are still a witch if you practice witchcraft. That is the only qualification for being a witch. If you take medication and you can practice witchcraft, you are a witch. Don't listen to anyone. And if anyone tries to tell you that you're less of a witch because you're on medication, tell them to shove it. That is so out of there. That is just so inappropriate. And it helps no one. Why would you do that to someone? If you take medication so you don't hear voices in your head, because you are schizophrenic, that's okay. Listen to your doctor. Work with your doctor. If you're bipolar, whatever, chronic depression, it's okay. Work with your doctor. Now, I will absolutely grant you, not all doctors are equal. Some of them are assholes. Some of them should not be in medicine, period. So if you're having problems with your medication, time to look for a new doctor. Time to look for someone who's going to listen to you. Because it is about you. It is not about the doctor. It is not about the pills. It's about you. And you need to advocate for yourself. To doctors, to other practitioners, to whoever is giving you grief. You tell them to fuck off. No one has a right to tell you that you should be off medication or that you should be using only natural supplements. Don't listen to idiots on the internet. And yes, I'm including myself in that statement. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to prescribe anything for you. I'm not going to tell you what works best because I don't know. And when you get into herbs, it's very individual how different people react to them. And then you add medications on top of that, and you're into a whole other ball of wax. So don't stress what people on the internet tell you. Don't stress what family tells you. Don't stress what your best friend tells you. And if a doctor's not willing to listen to you, find a new doctor. Find someone who will listen to you, who will work with you. Because the ultimate goal is that you are the best you that you can be. Whatever that looks like. However that comes about. So by all means, if you need medication, hello Lucy, if you need medication, take your medication. It's okay. And anyone who tries to give you grief over medication, over seeing a counselor, over taking a day to yourself, tell them nothing. Don't tell them anything. Laugh and walk away. You don't need that. You have people who care about you. Stick to them. Stick to what they bring to your life. And you're going to be fine. You will be absolutely fine. It's okay. Let's end the stigma. Any stigma, all stigmas. Let's just end it. Let's be us. It's all right. And if anyone disagrees, tough titties. So, take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.